So for this backless halter top tutorial, you can use any shirt for this tutorial, and right now I'm using a cardigan, and all I did was tuck in the sleeves, and I don't want my neckline to be this wide, so what I'm going to do is fold my sleeve area at an angle like this. And it should look like this. Now for the sides right here, what I'm going to do is make some minor adjustments because we want to connect strings on the side. So what I'm going to do is take my marker and go down at an angle like this, and do the same at the bottom. So basically all you're doing is really extending it. And it should look like this, and of course you want to do that to the other side as well. So I kind of like how this side is, and I want it to be equivalent to the other side. So to save time, I'm just going to mark where the middle is. So I'm just going to place a dot at the top right here. I'm just going to take my ruler and trace right here. And then at the top as well. And then mark where the bottom middle is at and extend that. So it should look like this, and you should have the middle dots of the marking, and I'm just going to connect those like this. And after you do that, I'm just going to fold my paper in half like this and cut it out on the fold so that it's one piece. And make sure that when you're tracing that you're adding seam allowance. And when I traced, I didn't add seam allowance because this top is a little bigger than I want it to be. So when I sew it, I will be taking off a ½ inch. When you cut it out on your fabric, you want to put it on the fold. And I'm going to write that right here on the pattern paper. Cut on fold. Now that I have my pattern piece cut out, I have my fabric folded in half like this, and I'm just going to place my pattern piece on the fold and cut out one piece. So once you have your piece cut out, it should look like this. And all we're going to do now is hem around these areas here. So you just want to, let me flip this over twice and stitch on top, and you want to do the same for the side here. Fold in twice and stitch on top, and the same for the other side as well. I already hemmed the sides of this halter top, and our last step will be to do the strings for this halter top. So for the sides here, I have about 3 inches, so that'll be how wide my string is to tie in the back of this shirt would be. And as far as the length, depends on how long you want it to be. And then the next step will be also to sew this top part of your halter. So all you would do is just fold it over depending on how wide you want that halter string around the neck to be. And I'm going to do mine at 1 inch. And then I'm going to just sew on top with a straight stitch. And now that I have all my strings cut out, all you want to do is fold it in half, sew along the edge, and flip it inside out. And once you do that, you would just connect right sides together and sew on top right here and just flip it over. And for the halter top, you would do the same. You would just take your string, flip it over, sew on the side, flip it inside out. And once you sew this top, you just slide that in the halter hole with a safety pin. That's really good to use when trying to get into that circle there. And then I'm going to sew all this together, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on the dress form. Once you're done with your top, it should look something similar to this. And if you don't want it to be backless, you can add a back piece, and I do have a tutorial on that, which is do-it-yourself halter summer dress, which I show how to add a back piece to the halter top. You sew on top of that halter string to close it up at the end. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe, and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week for a new tutorial. Bye!